Welcome students to our new YouTube channel PharmaX Tech, the division of excellence. So let's start to the new chapter of pharmacology from the CNS, which is opioid analgesics and antagonists. So let's start to the opioid analgesics and antagonist. You have seen the ad of smoking, in that the underline that the smoking is injurious to health. So because of some content in cigarette or any tobacco that are effect to the brain, they are opioids. So the source of opium and its purified constituent morphine is papaver somniferum. And next we see the two types of alkaloids present in opium are the phenanthrene derivatives like morphine 10% in opium, thebaine 0.2% in opium, and the thebaine is non-analgesic. And next one is codeine 0.5% in opium. So next we see the benzoisoquinoline derivatives, and the examples are papaverine 1% in opium, and this papaverine is non-analgesic. And also noscapine 6% in opium, and this noscapine is also non-analgesic. So next we see the classification of opioid analgesics and antagonists. So in that we first see the strong agonists, and the example of strong agonists are morphine, oxymorphone, piperidine, also known as pethidine, and levorphanol, and also fentanyl, methadone, and hydromorphone. So these are strong agonists. So next we see the mild to moderate agonists, and the examples of mild to moderate agonists are codeine, hydrocodone, that means hydrocodone, diphenoxylate, oxycodone, and propoxyphene. So these are mild to moderate agonists. So next we see the mixed agonist antagonists, and they are used as analgesics, and the examples are pentazocine and nalbuphine. And the analgesics not used as analgesics are examples levonorphan and nalorphine, that means nalorphine. So and also the others are buprenorphine and butorphanol. So next we see the pure antagonists, and the examples of pure antagonists in opioid analgesics are naloxone and naltrexone. It is 17 times potent than naloxone. So this is more important question for GPAT. Which antagonist is 17 times more potent than naloxone? And the right answer is naltrexone. So next we see the opioid receptors and their actions. In that first one is mu receptors, that means mu receptors, and their action is respiratory depression, physical dependence, constipation, and meiosis, euphoria, and analgesia at supraspinal level. So next we see the kappa receptors, that means K, that means kappa receptors, and their action is meiosis, that means lower ceiling, and sedation, cardiac stimulation, and also analgesia at spinal level, dysphoria, and hallucination are the actions of kappa receptors. So next we see the delta receptors, and their action is it affects the behavior. So the next we see the supraspinal opioid binding sites, and the sites are nucleus raphe magnus, locus, cerulus, midbrain, aqueductal gray, and hypothalamic and thalamic nuclei. So next we see the spinal opoid binding sites, and they are dorsal horn of spinal cord. So these opoids, that means spinal opoids binding site is dorsal horn of spinal cord. So next we see the effects of opioids and tolerance to each of them. In that the first one is high degree of tolerance, and the effects are sedation, euphoria, dysphoria, antidiuresis, mental clouding, analgesia, respiratory depression, and nausea and vomiting, CTZ stimulation. So next we see the moderate degree of tolerance, and the effect of moderate degree of tolerance is bradycardia, hypotension. Next we see the minimal or no tolerance, and the effects of minimal or no tolerance is meiosis, convulsions, constipation, and antagonist reaction. So of all the opioids, the opioids which causes least constipation is pentazocine. So there is a question in GPAT, most important, that which opioids which causes least constipation and the right answer is pentazocine. So next we see the centers which are depressed by morphine, and the centers are respiratory center, cup center, temperature regulating center, that means hypothermia, and vasomotor means hypotension. So next we see the centers which are stimulated by morphine, and the centers are chemoreceptor trigger zone, vagal center, Edinger Westphal nucleus, and cortical areas, and hippocampal nucleus. So these are the centers which are stimulated by morphine: chemoreceptor trigger zone, vagal center, cortical areas, and hippocampal cells, and Edinger Westphal nucleus. So the next we see that the smallest peptides possessing directly opioid activity, and they are methionine, enkaprin, and leucine enkaprin. So in GPAT there is most important question is asked, which is the smallest peptide possessing directly opioidal activity, and the right answer is methionine enkaprin and also leucine enkaprin. So the next we see the most important, that is uses of opioids, and the uses of opioids are in analgesia, morphine or pethidine are used. Next is neuroleptalgia, and there is fentanyl is used. So in GPAT there is a question, which drug used in neuroleptin analgesia, and the right option is fentanyl. So next we see the use is epidural anesthesia. The morphine is the most frequently used in epidural anesthesia. Next is acute pulmonary edema, and there is also morphine is used in acute pulmonary edema. Then next is cup. So in the cup the codeine is used. So there is cup also salbutamol and terbutaline are also used as expectorants in cup. So next we see the use is diarrhea. In drugs are used in diarrhea are codeine, diphenoxylate, and loperamide. So in diarrhea codeine, loperamide, and diphenoxylate are used. So next we see the contraindications for opioids. That means in this case the opioids are not used, and these contraindications are head injuries. Second one is respiratory insufficiency, that means emphysema, and also bronchial asthma, and also undiagnosed abdominal pain, and also liver and kidney disease, and also Addison's disease and myxedema. So in this the opioids are not used, and the contraindications are more important. We revised again that these head injuries, respiratory insufficiency, that means emphysema, bronchial asthma, undiagnosed abdominal pain, liver and kidney disease, and Addison disease, and also myxedema. So these are contraindications for opioids. So next we see the drug which is heroin. So this heroin is diacetyl morphine. So in the GPAT there is a question, what is heroin? That means the name of heroin, and the right answer is the heroin is diacetyl morphine. So the name is the heroin is opioid used for detoxification of morphine addicts, and this is methadone, drug of choice. So the drug of choice in detoxification of morphine addicts is methadone. So most important question for GPAT, which drug is used, that means which opioid is used for detoxification of morphine addicts, and the right answer is methadone. So the heroin is non-addicting drug used in opioid withdrawal syndromes, and it is clonidine. And 1 mg of oral methadone is 4 mg of morphine and 2 mg of heroin and 2 mg of pethidine. So this 1 mg of oral methadone contains 4 mg of morphine, 2 mg of heroin and 20 mg of pethidine. So next we see the drug is fentanyl. The fentanyl is a drug of choice in neuroleptalgia, and it is used with droperidol. So there is GPAT in the question is which is drug of choice in neuroleptalgia, and the right answer is fentanyl plus droperidol. So it is drug of choice in neuroleptalgia. So next is fentanyl is 100 times more potent than morphine. So it is more important than that is the fentanyl is 100 times more potent than morphine. So the fentanyl is highly opioidal and dangerous drug in the pharmacology. So next we see the alfentanil. This alfentanil, in that it is shortest acting opioid analgesics is alfentanil. So in GPAT there is a question that which is shortest acting opioid analgesics, and the right answer is alfentanil. So next drug is pentazocine, and the features of pentazocine is analgesia caused by pentazocine is mostly spinal cord, and it causes least constipation of all opioids, and the opioid contraindicated in myocardial infarction pentazocine. So this pentazocine opioid is contraindicated in myocardial infarction. So next is pentazocine kappa agonist and mu antagonist. So this pentazocine is kappa agonist and mu antagonist. So the next drug is buprenorphine, and this buprenorphine is 25 to 30 times more potent than morphine. So this is also dangerous opioidal drugs. So next it is mu agonist and kappa antagonists. So this buprenorphine is only opioid which is given by sublingual route. So in GPAT there is a question that which opioid, that means which is only one opioid that is used, that means this is given by sublingual route, and the right answer is buprenorphine. So the next is opioid uses as antitussives. So the example of opioids used as antitussives are codeine, dextromethorphan, noscapine and levopropoxyphene. So these codeine, levopropoxyphene, and dextromethorphan and noscapines are the opioids used as antitussives, most important for GPAT. That means the question is asked which opioids used as antitussives, and there is a any one option in that, and the right answer will be codeine, levoproxepine, that means levopropaxepine, and dextromethorphan and noscapine. So the next we see the naloxone, and this naloxone is pure opioidal antagonists. So next we see the uses of naloxone, and this naloxone is used as a acute opioid overdose, and the drug of choice is naloxone. So the JPAT in the question is drug of choice for acute opioid overdose, and the right answer is naloxone. So this naloxone is drug of choice in acute opioid overdose. So next it is also used in shock, endotoxic, hypovolemic, and spinal shock, and also it is used in stroke. And naloxone is used to treat overdosage with all opioids except buprenorphine. So in JPAT there is a question is that the naloxone used to treat overdose with all opioids except, and the right answer is buprenorphine. So next we see the drug is naltrexone. So the naltrexone is chemically related to naloxone, and it is also pure opioid antagonist, and it is more potent than naloxone, and this naltrexone is orally active and longer duration of action. So it shows the orally active and longer duration of action, it shows this naltrexone. And also the naltrexone is suitable for opioid blockade therapy of post addicts. Next we see the endorphins. It is endogenous opioid peptides, and the endorphins are derived from pro-opio melanocortin, that means POMC, that means pro-opio melanocortin, POMC, and is give rise to lambda MSH, that means melanocyte stimulating hormone, and also ACTH, that means adrenocorticotropic hormones and lipoproteins. And these endomorphins are primarily mu agonists but also has delta action. So next we see the opioid analgesics with low addiction liability, mild to moderate agonist is propoxyphene. So in JPAT, which is opioid analgesics with low addiction liability from mild to moderate agonist, and the right answer is propoxyphene. And the next is the opioid analgesics with low addiction liability is also the mixed agonist antagonists. So here is the end of this chapter, opioid analgesics and antagonists. In that we see the classification of opioid analgesics and agonists, like strong agonist, mild to moderate agonist, mixed agonists, and their uses. Next one is other, like pure antagonists, and also the opioid receptors and their actions. In that we first see the mu receptors and kappa receptors, and also delta receptors. Then next we see the effect of opioids and tolerance of each of them, and we see the effects of each opioid. Then next we see the uses of opioids and also the contraindications for opioids. So in JPAT there is also asked the uses of opioids and contraindication for opioids. So this is most important, and also the classification is most important. So next we see the various drugs like heroin, fentanyl, alfentanil, pentazocine, buprenorphine. So this is only drug which is given by sublingual route. And next we see the opioids used as antitussives. They are codeine, levopropaxepine, dextromethorphan, and noscapine. And also we see the naloxone use, naltrexone uses, and at last we see the opioid analgesics with low addiction liability. So in this way we end of this chapter, opioid analgesics and antagonists. So hope you like this chapter. If you like this chapter, please comment on comment section, and if you having any doubt, also comment on comment section. And Please share this video more and more to your GPAT aspirants as well as CET aspirants and those students who are preparing for competitive exam preparation. And also like, share and subscribe to our channel Pharma X-Tech. So for latest update, subscribe our channel Pharma X-Tech. Those students who have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe this channel. And also we arrange the test series for GPAT, CET and NIPER also and other competitive examinations in Sunday. So in alternate Sunday we arrange the tests of each subject and also for GPAT exam preparation. For GPAT exam preparation, various topic we arrange these tests as subject wise. So please watch this channel and I am sure that it will help to qualify the GPAT. So stay tuned for Pharma X-Tech. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for watching this video. Thank you. Stay tuned. Welcome students to our new YouTube channel Pharma X Tech, the division of excellence. So let's start to the new chapter of